guys, it's Vicky. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I am a full-time reseller on the Poshmark app, and you can find me there at Allie Bethany. You can also find me on Instagram at Allie Bethany. Pretty much all of my social media is Allie Bethany, Facebook, Twitter. Pinterest is The Versatile Mama, and I also run a website called theversatilemama.com. Originally it was a couponing website, and there's still some couponing information on that site. I'm just kind of writing about Poshmark and just random things, so you can also find me there. Alright, so today's video is going to be a vintage thrift haul. Now, I know very little about vintage. The only thing I know is from what my grandmother told me, because she used to have tons of vintage clothing when we would go through her mini storage sheds full of boxes, her attic. She grew up in the Depression, so she saved everything. I think at one time she had like almost 6 storage sheds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 storage sheds, a camper full of stuff, and then her attic. And of course inside of her house, boxes everywhere. I look at it now, I'm like, I think she was a hoarder, but it wasn't as severe as what you see on the hoarder show. But she saved everything. So I learned a lot from her, and you know, I grew up in the 90s, and apparently 90s is considered vintage now, which is a little disturbing to me, but it's okay. But I do know 90s fashion, and so if I run across things that I wore, you know, in the late 80s, early 90s, right in that area, I grab that. And of course, some of the things that people are wearing now are things that I wore in the 90s, like the platform sneakers. Apparently those are back and everybody's wearing them, and I wore them, and I swear to myself I would never wear those again. But now I'm thinking I need to get a pair. Also, you know, there's just a lot of styles from the 90s that are coming back. I rarely find those types of things, but when I do, I'm excited to see them. So I'm going to go through and show you some of the things that I picked out at our recent thrift. Excuse my cat, she's just a big old chunky monkey. And yeah, so okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the haul. So actually, I believe this one piece I've already shown in my previous haul that I did, but just in case you missed it or you didn't see it, I'm just going to show it again. It's this suede fringe bag. It's just like a little shoulder bag. I thought it was really cute. It was at the bins. So, you know, it's got a little bit of lines here in this area, but it's not that big of a deal. It's got like a moon turn lock type thingy. I can't even think right now. But yeah, so this was one of the finds that I got, and it is in my vintage closet. My vintage closet is at Girly Threads, and that's on Poshmark. And on Instagram, I started an Instagram for it, but I haven't really been keeping up with it, so I'm pretty much just posting stuff on my main Instagram. But I believe it's girly_threads_shop on Instagram, so if you want to follow me there, you can. I'll try to start keeping up with it. But yeah, so there's this. The one thing that I like about looking for vintage stuff, it's, you know, when you find it, you know it, you know, typically when you see it, you know it's vintage. But the research, the things that you learn, like once you get the stuff home and you start looking it up and learning about the company and trying to figure out when the tag was dated and all of that, it's so interesting, and I had no idea how interesting it would be. But anyway, so this is from a company called All That Jazz. Now, I want to say this is more from the 90s than the 80s, but it's this little pinstripe. I want to say it's a mini dress, but I think it actually was like a long tunic maybe that went with, you know, pantsuit. I don't know. But I have it listed as a mini dress because I think it would be adorable as a mini dress. There is no size, there is no material label, so I had to measure everything and guesstimate. Which, you know, if you sell clothes for a while, you're pretty good at guessing about what size certain things are based off the measurements. Alright, so this, I don't believe this is the vintage tag, but Jam's World. So Jam's World typically has a bunch of different labels. So they have a colorful label. It's got like blue, white, and green, and it says Jam's World. It's like a square. That is an older label. This one says Jam's World since 1964, but I do believe it is a bit newer. So this may not necessarily be vintage, but I did want to show this because it's adorable. This is the Jamboree dress by Jam's World. All of these dresses are made in Hawaii, and they have a very high resale value. If you look at some of the dresses that have sold on Poshmark, I've seen dresses between $60 and $85 being sold by this brand, and they look basically just like this. So I don't remember what I listed this at, but this is in my main closet, Alley Bethany, and it's in excellent condition. I got this from the Goodwill. This is what my mom picked out because I told her I was looking for some vintage pieces. This actually had the tag still on it. I believe it's more like a boutique brand. It's called City Girl, styled in California, made in the USA. I couldn't find a lot of information about it. It is plus size. It's a size 18. It is a jacket and extremely colorful. I don't know. It does have shoulder pads in it. I would say this is probably, I think, late 80s, like 88, 89 time. I remember my family wearing stuff like this back whenever I was a kid. So I definitely think it's late 80s. So it's interesting, very interesting. It had a pretty musty smell to it, so I had to take the tags off and wash it, and it's back to normal now. But this is in my vintage closet now. But it's cute. It's like a satiny feel and very colorful, so perfect for spring. All right, I picked this up the other day because it had a belt attached, and the belt is a thicker belt. Try to put it together. This one is Gianni Petite, not Gianni Versace, but Gianni Petite, and I like the style of the dress. So it's this, it's kind of like a pencil dress. It's midi, but it's got the slit in the front. It does need to be steamed before I ship it off. But yeah, it has the belt that goes with it. I thought the belt was really neat looking. It's got that dark red, I forget the name of that. But yeah, it's a, I believe it's wool. Yeah, it's 98 wool, 2% lycra. So yeah, really cute. My mom picked this one out for me. It is just a Memphis, which is probably like late 80s, early 90s. Some of these things, like I said, I couldn't find any information about. So it is a paisley top, just a button-up top. It's got a lot of paisleys and florals on it. Kind of cute. I picked this one out. Now, I was at my favorite store, which is his house, and they had this puffy sleeve blouse. Now, if you've been following a lot of the fashion trends, which I finally learned how to forecast and to figure it out, all of this stuff is great. Not forecast, I'm not good at that, but finding out what's trending. And I'm going to do a whole other video on that just for those who don't know, because a lot of people tell you what the trends are, but they don't tell you how you can look them up yourself. So I'm going to tell you how to do that in another video for those who don't know. But anyway, I was at his house and they had this puffy sleeve top, and puffy sleeves are very, very in right now. That is going to be the new thing. I'm extremely afraid of this trend. You will not find me in puffy sleeves ever. I don't even think I wore those back in the 80s whenever I was a kid. You'll never see me in puffy sleeves. It's not going to happen. But a lot of people love the puffy sleeve look. So I found this shirt. So then I was like, I don't think I'm going to get it, because it had these huge sleeves, right? These big puffy sleeves, but it just had a weird style up here. And part of me feels like I need to go back and get it. But anyway, I put it back and I got this because I love the coloring in this one. So I will show you the coloring. It's a purple and a blue and a black, and it's like swirls. Really cute. This is a plus size as well. It would probably fit me. But it is this top. It's like a blouse on type top, and it's like a plunge neckline, I guess you'd say. It cuts very, very, very low, and it has two buttons down here for the buttoning, and yeah, so it's extremely interesting. I felt like I should have modeled it, but I don't want my body exposed all over the internet, so I decided to not model this. I put it on my mannequin, and my mannequin is a size 2-4. This is a size 18 or 16. 18. So yeah, but anyway, this brand is Castleberry. I have not figured out much about them either, so yeah, but it is listed in my closet. I might need to invest in a plus size mannequin, just because I got the cheapest one that I could find. And I think I paid like $69 for mine, and it was a 2 to 4. So, all right, this next piece is something that I picked up just because I was watching something on YouTube and they're talking about how like cozy pajama type dresses were going to be in. So when I found this, I was like, well, I don't know, is this a shirt dress? It is missing the belt, and a lot of people are buying those big belts now. So it is Henry Lee, and I'm actually seeing a little spot here, and I don't know if this is bleach or if this is, I think I might have to get some fabric. I don't know what that is. I might have to figure out something, maybe get some fabric paint to paint over. It's on the black. Anyway, I might have to pull it. But it's this shirt dress, and it has the buttons that come to about here, and then it's just this long, funky, it's not chevron. It's kind of like chevron, but not really. But yeah, it's supposed to have a belt with it. So if you can imagine this with a belt, I probably should have found a belt to put on it on the mannequin. But yeah, so I might actually have to pull this one to figure out what that little piece here is. It looks like a bleach spot, but I'll show you that right there. I have bought fabric paint before, and it has fixed some things, but I'm not, you know, super educated when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I don't know what happens. All right, anyway. All right, so this next piece is 100% wool. This is a Herman Geist. Now, I'm not sure. I'm thinking 80s, 90s for this one, but I'm not really sure. It feels like it's like 80s, 90s. But it's got these knot, like knot clasp, if you can see. And it's just this cardigan. And another trend that people are wearing now is they are actually wearing their cardigans as shirts. So, you know, I've been trying to pick up more cardigans because, especially like neat, cute little cardigans that are stylish that could look really good as a shirt. And yeah, that's supposed to be real big. So I don't know if anybody would want to wear this as a shirt for the fact that it is itchy. It's that itchy wool. All right, the next piece that I got was a Pendleton. It's a pretty basic Pendleton, but I have picked up basic Pendleton and it still sells for about 30 to 40 bucks. This is a zip front jacket. It is wool. It's got like a multicolor type look to the material, if you can see. It's got like buckles on the side for adjustments, and the zip front. It's just brown. It's a size 12, and this is like 90s, so it's not super old. All right. This one right here is my favorite. I found this the other day. We were at Goodwill, and I saw it from afar, and I was like, what is that? And I ran to it, and I picked it up. Now, first of all, this thing smelled so bad. It smelled like a mixture of bandages and vintage. It was just a horrible, horrible smell. I brought it home. I washed it. It didn't take the smell away. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I remember somebody saying something about putting it in the freezer. So I put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer, and it actually did take some of the smell out. And then somebody told me to spray it with vodka. And so I looked that up because I was like, I'm scared to spray it with vodka. But anyway, I ended up spraying it with the vodka because I have a nice large bottle of vodka, Kirkland's vodka from Costco, that does not get drank. It's been on my cabinet since my boyfriend's mom gave it to us 3 years ago or something. But I filled up a bottle of vodka and sprayed it, and I put that in the freezer, and it took a good bit of the smell out, but then it started to smell like vodka, and I was like, okay, great. So I aired it out a little bit. I feel like I need to wash it one more time. Right now I just have it in a bag with a dryer sheet just to try to help the smell some. Of course, all I smell is dryer sheet. It smells so much better than it did. But yeah, I'll probably wash it one more time. But this right here is absolutely gorgeous, and I actually know a little bit about this one because I looked up the information on it. So this is a Miss Elaine. Now it is a raw hem down here. It can be hemmed, but it really doesn't look bad without the hem. It is this beautiful floral print. It has the Mark signature all over it. So when I first saw Mark on it, I was thinking, Marc Jacobs? Like, what is this? So it says Mark and it has it all over. So this is the Mark signature fabric. Apparently, so Miss Elaine, she has a brother named Mark, and he is the one who basically turned the Miss Elaine clothing company into a top-selling worldwide brand, basically. And yeah, that was her brother. So this was something from the 60s. This was a pattern they used. Now it has these beautiful, I guess these are like pearl snaps, and then it has the metal zipper right here. It's a 24-inch waist, won't even go around my thigh. It is extremely tiny, but it's gorgeous and I love it. It is kind of see-through a little bit, but as soon as I listed it last night, I put it as not for sale because I was trying to get the smell out, and somebody immediately commented saying it was gorgeous, and I was like, yeah, I agree. It's gorgeous. It is beautiful. So this is so far my best find yet. I like colorful things like this when it comes to vintage pieces. These are my favorite. So that is listed in my vintage closet, but it is not for sale right now as I'm still working on the smell. So I had no idea it could smell so bad. My mom said it smelled like a hospital. So, all right, my mom picked up this. This is a London Fog. It is a trench coat. That is another style. So trench coats are on trend right now. I'm not sure about this type, but this one does have the belt. I need to wash it though because, well, it just needs to be washed. But anyway, it's not a very long trench coat. It's about mid-length. So I thought this was a pretty good one. And as for size and all of that, I don't know. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Oh, it's a 16 regular. But yeah, so just a trench coat, which I need to go ahead and wash that today. This, I don't know what it is. Something else my mom picked out. It is a E. Stewart, United States of America. It looks kind of like a bathing suit cover. That's what it looks like. It's the terry cloth. Is there a stain on it? Oh, my phone is apparently dirty. I can see my phone. So it's got these slits on the side. I don't know if this is on purpose or if it was made like that, but I guess I'm gonna leave it be. So it's got slits on the side, but it's like a neon orange, and neon colors are on trend as well. So we'll see. Now, my mom picked this one out. I gotta wash this one too. It has a big stain right in the front. Where is it? But let's see. I don't see it. Anyway, there is a stain somewhere on this, but it is vertical stripes, which is another thing that is on trend right now. So this one is Colortron, and it's by Corette of California. So Corette is a big brand that I see all the time. But this is one of their tops. It is vintage. It does not have a label on it because it has fell off. But this is that label, Colortron. And it's just a vertical stripe top that has it's supposed to have a belt with it. So you're supposed to wear a belt with it. And I was like, well, this is cute. I don't know, the colors are kind of looks more fall, but you know what, I'm still gonna put it up, and I'm gonna find a belt to go along with it. It looks like it wants a thin belt, so I'll see what I got and we'll try it out. Let me put that in the wash pile. And then my mom found this. Oh, this is not vintage, this is just hers. It needs to be washed. All right, what else? Three more pieces. So I'm probably not gonna put this in my vintage closet. I found a spot on it, but it's a Yves Saint Laurent. It's just a men's tie. So I grabbed it, but then when I got home, I was like, oh no, there's like a pinhole in it right here. And I don't really think people want a pinhole in their tie, but then again, some men actually wear pins on their tie. But this looks maybe like a cigarette ash fell on it and burned it a little bit, but it's very small. Like I said, it's like a pinhole, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. But yeah, that was interesting for $1. And then my mom found this, which is Cachet, which is from 90s. I don't remember what year they closed. I think they closed in the 2000s, so this could be a newer Cachet. But it's just this metallic sweater. And it needs to be washed. It has this metal something here, which is interesting. But the tag does not look like the vintage tag though. This looks like a newer tag, like maybe very new. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look again to see when they closed down because I'm pretty sure it was in the 2000s. So this may not be vintage after all. And then my mom found this, which needs to be washed. It's a hand wash, but it's got like, it looks almost like shaving cream around. I hope that's what it is. It's Mick George of Dumfries, real Shetland, 100% new wool. It had no holes in it, which is shocking. But it is this red wool sweater. But as you can see, like the collar needs to be cleaned. She wanted to get it. I felt like it was too itchy. I was gonna get it, but I was like, nah, I don't think so. But so we need to hand wash that. Alright, well, I will talk to you all in my next video. I'm going to try to do a video talking about looking up trends because I've learned some things and I want to share them because not everybody knows, and many people do, but there's many of us who don't. So I will be doing that in my next video. I will talk to you all later. Bye.